and welcome to today's topic. Today's topic is data transmission medias. So we'll be discussing on data transmission medias on today. So what is the function of data transmission media? Like in computer networks, like different computers and devices are interconnected. Now how these devices are interconnected? These devices are interconnected using different transmission medias. So to connect different isolated places of the world, we need communication between the remote places. So using these communications, we can transfer data and information. So because transfer of information has always been a matter of historical importance. So in olden days, electronic medium was not there. Nowadays, like using electronic media, like you can transfer data and information. In olden days, the rulers used different means and methods to transfer information from one place to another place. Like you can take the example of messengers. Like messengers means some people appointed by the authorities to carry information from one place to another place. Then pigeons were also used. Then runners were used to carry information from one place to another place. And some other ways were also there that time for carrying messages. So in some other ways we had signals like fire, gunshots, clapping, and drum. These were used to pass messages from one place to another place. Now with the development of different technologies, some sophisticated means of communications were introduced. Like a century back, a very effective and good way of communication was invented by Alexander Graham Bell, that was telephone. Then other ways of communications were also invented that time, like you might have heard about telegrams, then Morse code and all these type of things were invented a century back. So the development of the information technology brought a revolution in the communication technology. Nowadays, we are using modern communication devices and transmission media to transfer information from one place to another place at a very high speed. Now we have internet. So to transfer data from one place to another place, you need a carrier. Without carrier, it is not possible to send data from one place to another place. So medium or carrier through the information is transferred from one place to another place is called transmission media. That means the transmission media is the mean, or the say the object or anything that is used to connect two devices located at two different places, and using that transmission media you can transfer data from one device to another device. So transmission media can be grouped into two categories. Now it might be wire or it might be wireless. So you might have, because all of you know that you use mobile phone nowadays. So in case of mobile phones, you don't have any wire using which you have to transfer data. But in the landline telephone, you might have seen there is a wire. So that means we have two types of communication media or transmission media. One is wired, another is wireless. So two classes, you have to remember this thing. So in the next slide, we'll discuss about the wired media. So let us talk about the wired media. Wired media is also called the guided media. And another is that we have talked about the wireless media, that is called unguided media. So example of wired media are twisted pair cables. Okay, the cables that are used in telephone. Okay, these are one type of copper wire. And you might have seen coaxial cable in your cable television. Then optical fiber. So in any university campus or like at your home also, you might have seen when broadband connections are provided, optical fiber wire are used. Okay, so these all are the examples of guided media. That means these are wires. Now if we are not using wires, then we in what we are using there, like, because that you can't see that things now, because when you are using mobile phones you can't see the medium. So somebody might have thought that if we are using mobile phones, then we do not need any medium. But that is a wrong concept, because without medium it is not possible to transfer information from one place to another place. Now, if you can't see that medium, then what is that medium? So this medium is already present in air. Like these mediums are actually radio signals, then microwaves, infrared radiations, etc. So you can't see this radiation, but using these radiations, these signals, okay, we transfer data. Okay. Then another mean of communication with very high bandwidth can be discussed, that is storage media. So that is not wireless actually, and that is not even wired actually, but that is a storage device where information is stored, and somebody like physically carry that storage media and give it to the like concerned person. Like, suppose if you want to send a huge file, okay, so you can use you can use a pen drive or a hard disk or a floppy disk or a CD. Okay, you can store that file there, and somebody from your office may carry that CD or that mean of storage to the destination. So the information can be stored in floppy disk, CD, DVD, pen drive, data card, and can be transferred from another one place to another place, either by post or by and somebody might carry that. Okay, so though the bandwidth utilization of this method is very high, because you can send a huge amount of data, but geographical constraints make this communication is very slow process. So this is also a mean of communication. So let us talk about the guided media. Now, in guided media, if a fixed and dedicated path is established between two communicating ends by using a wire or optical fiber, then transmission of data become very much reliable and accurate, because there is a wire, no other, like there is no interference from outside in that wire. That wire is dedicated for your message only. So that's why that mean of communication become very much reliable and accurate, because whatever you are sending from one side, that will obviously reach to the other side, because there is a dedicated path. I will give you one example. Suppose you have a pipe, you want to give water to your plants, okay, that is present that is located in your garden. So from the tap to the garden, that pipe will carry water. Okay, so here water will definitely reach to the plant, because through that pipe only that water will travel. Okay, but see, if instead of water you are using a drain, okay, to send to give water to that plant, now what might happen, that on the way there might be some blockage in the drain, or some like there might be some interference from like other people in that drains. Then what will happen? Then water will get distracted. So that kind of thing is there. So if we are using a guided media, that means obviously the message whatever you are sending will reach to its destination. So using the guided media, problem of channel traffic can be solved to a great extent, that I have already discussed why it is there, because there will because there is a dedicated path, so channel traffic will be solved. But there are some disadvantages of using this method also. Now you need to establish a net of wires in an area covering thousands of kilometers. Okay, and it is a very tough and expensive job, because you need lot of wire, lot of manpower, then time is required, and if on the way somebody cut that wire, okay, distract the connection or disconnect the connection, so what will happen? There will be a disturbance in the communication. So this type of things might happen. If some connection failure occur on the way that I have told you, then it becomes very hard to detect like where is the problem, because of the geographical constraints. Okay, So some of the guided media discussed in this chapter are twisted pair, coaxial cable and fiber optic cable. So I think this portion is clear to you. See, wireless medium is discovered or invented later, but guided media was there from the beginning, like 100 years back also when telephone was invented, that time guided media was there. So let us talk about different types of guided media. So we'll start with twisted pair. So the oldest and the most common media for information transmission by wire is twisted pair. So it is also used to in present day information communication. So how does it look? It looks like like a DNA. It looks like a DNA shape structure, okay, helical and DNA shape. So it is also used in present day information communication. In this type of media, two insulated copper wires are twisted together to form a helical and DNA like shape. So all of you might have seen twisted pair cables if you have seen the old telephone lines, the landline lines when we were young, like very young. That time we were doing our masters. That time like mobile phones were not that much in use because it was very expensive that time because it was newly introduced, and most of the people use like they use that thing landline telephones. At our house also, in our department also, landline telephones were mostly used. So there we had seen that the wire that was used to connect different landline telephones was twisted pair. So if you see the old landline telephones, you will see twisted pair out there. And why it is called twisted pairs? Because two copper wires are there that are twisted to form a helical and DNA like shape. That is why it is called a twisted pair. And the thickness of the single wire is about 1 mm. And why do we need to twist the wire? Okay, a question might be there, like we can keep parallel wires also. So why do you need to twist the wire? We need to twist the wire to avoid magnetic coupling between two parallel wires, because if you keep two parallel wires, these two parallel wires will work like antennas. Okay, and due to that it will behave like magnets and they will catch the signal of each other. Okay, and that will result into crosstalks. That means the signal, if some two people are talking in one line and there is one parallel wire going, then they will be able to hear the voice of each other. Okay, so that will be the thing. So keeping the wires parallel leads to crosstalk between parallel wires, because parallel wires behave like antennas and catch and radiate the signals and noise. So there will be a disturbance on the line. So the magnetic effects are cancelled. If we twist the cables, the magnetic effects are cancelled at each twist. And if twists are used, no amplification is needed for several kilometers. That means you can transfer signals to several kilometers because of the twists. And no amplification is needed for that. What is amplification? You need to enhance the enhance the signal. So okay, to keep the quality of the signal intact. So twisted pairs can be used for analog as well as digital signals. These types of wires are also used in telephone system. I have already told you this thing. So let us go to the next slide. So bandwidth of the twisted pair cable depends upon the thickness of the cable and the distance traveled. So there are basically two categories of twisted pair cable, Cat 3 and Cat 5. Cat 3 twisted pair consists of cables twisted together and bundled in a group of 4, making 8 wires together. Cat 5 is similar to Cat 3, but in Cat 5 there are more number of twists as compared to Cat 3. Why do we need to increase the number of twists? It will decrease the crosstalk and improves the quality of the signal. So Cat 5 has Teflon insulation, and Cat 3 and Cat 5 are also called UTP, that is unshielded twisted pair. Okay, there is no shield on it. That is why it is called unshielded twisted pair, because prior to UTP a different type of twisted pair was used, that was having an extra shield, okay, to protect it against any like disturbance. Okay, that was called STP, shielded twisted pair. And shielded twisted pair was bulky, expensive, and it was unsuccessful.